This is a TECNO Spark Go 2024 or TECNO Pop 8 in Africa. Today, we are going to challenge using a $68 smartphone for a day and to use it to its limits and its capabilities. And I'm going to tell you my own insights and reviews about this smartphone at the end of the video. Out from the box, we have the phone, 12+1 warranty card, a phone case, Type-C cable, and the charger. At the same time, SIM ejector tool. For the first time unboxing a phone, at the first glance, the only emphasis you will only see is the design of the smartphone. The design is very elegant. There are two variations, mystery white and gravity black. There is a metallic feeling at the back with crisscross pattern shining through. Also, when you put it on direct sunlight, it will shine yellow, sometimes lighter blue. There is a rainbow shining next to the camera module. The trend is still up to this day, which is the flat edge right here, but also there is a slight indent to the smartphone. I think for ergonomics purpose, but ergonomics wise it grips well, it's comfortable to hold, it doesn't slip on my hands. The material is still polycarbonate plastic, even from the frame, it's all polycarbonate. We finished with the design. Let's start with our review using only the smartphone via our experiences by vlog and our trip going to Magic Land. So we are heading to a cosplay event in Magic Land, and we are using a TECNO Spark Go 2024 or TECNO Pop 8 as our main device. I'm going to put a battery percentage at the top right of the video, and take note, battery percentage in the video may be inaccurate in some information, so please bear with us. Yeah. Cameras is the most important part when we capture our own experiences. The videos on that phone is capped at 1080p at 30fps by default. We notice because it's a budget phone, there is a lack of stabilization while doing videos, as we were trying to walk. We are now at the position just to wait for our Jeep. As you noticed, our battery life decreases according to the video name is indicated on. We are riding on a Jeep going to the next jeepney stop, going to the terminal, so we have an awkward moment riding a Jeep. We're going to our next jeepney going to the terminal. We finally tweak some settings before we go on. While we wait for some passengers to fill up the Jeep, we admire the smartphone's design aspect. When we shine it on the sunlight, it's actually shining yellow, and it's actually pleasing to the eyes though. The only main struggle of this smartphone is actually the audio quality. You notice as I try to talk, it actually struggles to pick up my voice, but it's actually picking the background noise rather than my voice. After the wait, the Jeep finally drives up going to the terminal. So, now we are going on a time skip going to the terminal. So far, great experience. I am going to tell you about the camera video experience. Well, the first thing is, yeah, it has a lack of stabilization. There is no stabilization whatsoever. The only main struggle is the audio quality of the smartphone. It's actually picking a lot of background noise rather than my voice. That's actually the main problem there. So far so good. Video quality wise, it's decent enough. Well, I'm not going to complain about it. So, let's go to the terminal. As we travel, we decided to take pictures out of nowhere. This is what I captured. However, there is a lot of rain and noise near the blue sky. Also, we have some shutter lag as we capture during dynamic range. This only occurs if your phone is not still because we are moving. We have dual cameras, the 13 megapixel one and the 0.05 MP depth sensor. However, yeah, even though it's just dual cameras, only one camera is working and one will do the focusing. So we arrived at the terminal. Now it's time to go to the next station. We have to ride a bus. Okay, as we wait inside the bus, we decide to use Google Maps. However, yeah, with no data, we rely only on offline maps. However, the offline maps doesn't seem to work. We only rely our instincts to the conductor until we reach our destination to Magic Land. 10 minutes later, we took off. Okay, so we're doing a time skip because I didn't film my drop off from the bus go on the side of the road where that road leads to Magic Land. So we seen e-bikes there. We took a ride on an e-bike and yeah, we headed to Magic Land. So I'm going to tell you the camera verdict and the display of the smartphone since I never said about that. So I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah, this is a 13 megapixel main camera and a 0.05 megapixel depth sensor. And yeah, this one is just a dual flash, not another triple camera. So this is not triple cameras, it's dual cameras. The design is like iPhone though. The layout of the camera is like iPhone. Yeah, this is not a camera, this is a dual flash. So I'm going to tell you the camera verdict is that yeah, some parts are pretty grainy, some parts are okay. I would say the camera is quite decent. Sometimes it captures accurate photos, accurate colors, and sometimes the picture is not really so great here. The best example is the shutter lag I'm going to tell you later. But yeah, the display is 90 Hz, 720p, 500 nits IPS display. View angles are pretty great, not too shabby. Also we have a punch hole camera right here. That's a big punch hole camera with an 8 megapixel camera on it. So I'm going to show you the camera that has a shutter lag. This is the best example on the selfie picture while I was walking. So you notice here there is another layer right here. I cannot explain it properly, but yeah, that's when you're walking. And then I noticed that, oh wow, there is a another face. Yeah, that's the dynamic range. So as you keep walking, it doesn't capture properly, it actually lags behind. So that's why you have the image that has this. So we arrived at the Magic Land and we decided to enjoy it the rest of the day. I am cosplaying as Casual Scaramouche because yeah, Philippines has hot weather today, so we have to wear only light clothes for today. Yeah. So the event has started. We decided to go on a cos parade for some reason. Just Luig's come to mess up, so yeah, that's style. Decide to take pictures and videos as we stroll here. So the weather is windy but not totally hot though. So the program has begun, so we're going to do some time skips in this video and we're going to focus all the fun. We're going to the bumper cart and we're going to wait until the customer finishes. Few minutes later and we have to do some fun. Unfortunately we can't film the rest of the video because of the amusement park regulations. Couple of hours and we decided to go home, going back to our hometown Bacolod City. So we're out of the town. I guess we are going to use the rest of our smartphone capabilities. We're at 66%. I guess it's not bad. Yeah, this smartphone is actually a very long lasting and has a long lasting battery life. As we got out of Magic Land, we decided to wait for the Jeep to arrive rather than a bus. The highway waiting for the bus. Yeah, the bus rarely passes here. I don't know. I mean, I can see it right there. So yeah, the great thing about the feature of this smartphone, it has a dual flash. I mean, not dual flash, actually two flash lights, front and back. So in case of vlogging, it's actually pretty great because you have a light at the front of the smartphone. It's great. So we rode the Jeep going back to Bacolod City, and I'm going to tell you now. So indeed, we have a front flashlight in front of the smartphone when you use it on vlog, or sometimes use it in photos during nighttime. So yeah, apparently I didn't use that here when riding a Jeep. Actually, we're going outside, riding a Jeep, going back to the home. Apparently, right at the terminal again, you know, I'm crossing the lane. So we went to NGC first before we went home. So we're going to take some night shots over there. As we are near to the people's house, we decided to take some pictures of some Christmas tree and some Christmas things here. However, what I noticed is, yeah, the noise level of the photo is actually pretty noisy. There is a lot of grain anywhere, but at least it smoothens a bit on the super night mode. So we went back home, and I am going to play games and push it to its limits for a bit. I played League of Legends, Ball Drift, and Genshin Impact. This smartphone is powered with an unknown chipset named Unisoc T606 or Spreadtrum Unisoc T606. I don't have this knowledge about this chip, but I will tell it anyway. As I play League of Legends, Ball Drift, yeah, it seems pretty smooth at first until I experience frame drop during Clash or any crowded place. As for Genshin Impact, I would say it's playable between only lowest settings at 40 FPS, but however I would still not recommend Unisoc T606 for gaming. The software is iOS based on Android 13 Go Edition. Android 13 Go Edition is just a step-down version of Android 13, removing some of its features. But the benefit is to make the smartphone lighter and faster for the entry-level smartphone. There is no bloatware installed, and yeah, it's all stock. There's also features in the smartphone, like yeah, I mentioned the 90Hz display. Plus, we have a dynamic port, which is an alternative name for dynamic island in a smartphone. They really put some of the detail with their UI, like simple animations like this volume rocker. When the bar is full, it pushes up, and when the bar is empty, it pushes down. Even opening animation is like iPhone vibes, but this is the plot twist. Even though iOS animations are pretty nice, but there's also parts that I would say it's an eyesore. Sometimes the animations are okay, but sometimes animations are quite buggy in most several ways. Even though the UI is smooth, the Unisoc T606 sometimes feels unstable, as well as the system. Well, as I opened a photo, there is a little bit of frame drop as I experience. Well, I didn't capture it because it occurs unexpectedly, so I don't have time to film that on a camera. They have marked it as 8GB of RAM, but in reality, the smartphone is actually just 4GB of RAM. They just added 4 because yeah, they have a feature called Mem Fusion. Pros of this smartphone is actually great for casual use only. Well, even though I would say gaming performance is quite decent here, but I wouldn't still recommend it for gaming. Also, another benefit is that it has a long battery longevity. So I can travel anywhere as far as I want. They will give you at least 2 days of battery life. The cons right here is actually the video stabilization in the smartphone. It's quite, pretty janky. Yep, you can feel my movements when I taking videos. Also, software updates is also the main concern here. Well, Transsion Electronics, the makers of itel, Infinix, and this TECNO smartphone here, software updates is sometimes not promising. Unlike other Chinese companies like Xiaomi, Realme, and other companies, these entry-level smartphones only give you 2 years of Android updates and 3 years of security updates. But some of their smartphones actually receives 1 year of Android updates and 2 years of security updates. But majority of Transsion electronic smartphones like Infinix, itel, and TECNO, software updates is actually almost non-existent. They will actually give you only 1 year of Android updates and 2 years. Even though Transsion Holdings is a Chinese company that focuses mainly for low-income populations, like some in Africa, and yet they focus mostly on African market. The software updates of the TECNO Sparkle 2024 is severely unknown, but I am going to tell you anyways. Infinix, itel, and TECNO are part of Transsion Holdings. Software updates sometimes it's not promising because some Infinix smartphones do have 1 year of Android updates and 2 years of security updates. Unlike other Chinese companies like Xiaomi, Realme, and other smartphone companies in China, they will only receive you 2 years of Android updates and 3 years of security updates on their smartphones. But some Xiaomi smartphones, Realme smartphones do receive 1 year of Android update and 2 years of software updates, but majority it's all 2 years of Android updates and 3 years of security updates. Xiaomi also scaled up their Android updates up to 4 years on their Xiaomi 13T Pro, but not on the rest of their mid-range smartphones and entry-level smartphones. They will still only give you 2 years. Android updates of Transsion Holdings on their entry-level smartphones is extremely unknown, but on my speculation and guesses, they only give you 1 year of Android update and 2 years of security updates. But this one, you won't get that Android update since this one is just Android 13 Go Edition, but maybe we don't know. So, we're going to conclude this. Well, even though it's still extremely unknown, but the TECNO Phantom V Flip and the V Fold only receives 2 or 3 years of Android updates and 3 or 4 years of security updates. Also, there are dangers of using a unisoc processors. Well, because this is an unknown chipset, that's actually I'm quite worried about, because last year's article of India, it says that unisocs is actually prone to hacking because of the fatal flaw of one of the unisoc processor's modems. So that's it. I'm having a lot of fun in this smartphone. I am using it as my secondary phone. So that's all in the video.